I'm back. I'm back and I'm better. Last time we talked, I think I was working for Marten. Man, I got a lot. I don't think I'm gonna put everything into this one video, but just to bring out the speed, you know, because boy, since that last video, it's been a journey. Past my 1 year mark, you know, in April, finally hit a year of driving. And you know, I feel like with my steps along the way, I got enough that I can share to really help the next person on their trucking journey. So I would say maybe if you're a experienced driver, my videos really aren't for you. But if you want some insight on a company, despite your experience that you've never been to before, then maybe you should still check out my videos. But if you're a new driver, these videos are definitely for you. Yeah, we both, shit, like I said, I only got 1 year, so I'm still new in the game. You know what I mean? So let me just pick it up where I left off at. So last time y'all checked, I was with Marten, and overall, I think Marten's a good company. So let me just do my pros and cons list of what was going on with Marten, what I liked and what I didn't like. So get hired on. Orientation was what, like 3 days in Phoenix. I can hands down say, ever since I started my trucking career, the orientation with Marten was probably the worst one I ever been to in my entire life of having a job. You know, we spent hours and hours on top of hours watching a bunch of pointless fucking videos that had nothing to do with Marten. I mean, nothing to do with Marten. Like, bro, if I was on the inside and I worked for that company, I'm scratching all them motherfucking videos. Like, it was terrible, dude. We had like 100 tests to take. I kid you not. And if you from Marten, leave a comment, you know what I'm saying, and verify what I'm saying. Watch 3 days worth of videos, bro. It was traumatizing. It almost felt like it was like them testing you to see if you'll break. Like, motherfucker, you ain't gonna do these videos and you ain't gonna do the work when you out there. I don't know, but there's no justifying that, because all in all, it'd been cool if it was 100 videos on Marten, but I'm talking about 100 motherfucking workplace, office place videos. You know, 1,000 sexual harassment tests. You know what I mean? 1,000, like, bro, it was traumatizing. It was irritating as fuck too. So that was a con. That was something I didn't like, but hey, it's just orientation. So bam, when I made it out of orientation, I got assigned my truck. I get in my truck and they send me a load, and I quickly come to the realization, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I spent 3 days with you people in orientation learning how to do fucking nothing that has anything to do with Marten, you know? And when I reached out, they like, here, call a driver mentor. That's the most irritating shit ever, bro. Like, I don't want to talk to somebody that doesn't want to talk to me. You know, like, what the fuck am I calling them for? Like, do they get paid for this? You know, we shouldn't have to call a driver mentor for anything. It's definitely cool to have. Like, when I was doing my training, and you know, once I was done training with my trainer, you know, I got their phone number. They offered their phone number. So when you get it organically, like, that's cool to have. But when they just throw somebody on you, like, hey, call Benjamin and ask him, how do you fucking log into it? You know what I'm saying? That shit was irritating. So yeah, the orientation was definitely a huge con. Whatever, bam, I get my truck, and I would say for the better part of about two weeks, I was on the side of the road. I don't understand, like, the logic behind it, but you know what I'm saying? This is why I got so much respect for Warner, outside of how much they motherfucking pay you. Like, they gave me this old raggedy ass truck at Marten, and they seen I was on the side of the road. Even though I was getting paid every time I broke down, I think you got paid like $250 or something like that. You know what I mean? They seen I was on the side road. They kept paying me for breaking down. but they would not give me a new truck. The motherfucking truck, it was cool. It wasn't old, but it had a lot of miles. It had like 300, almost 400,000 miles. And usually with companies, they get rid of them around that time. So I'm assuming like between 3 to 4, they probably start doing like the major maintenance. So despite it being a new truck, it's still fucking up. I'm on the side of the road breaking down all type of shit, and they just refused to give me a new truck, bro. But finally I just kept going hard. I'm like, I need a truck. Switch me trucks. I'm broken down again. What's going on? Like, you don't want to be a new driver coming into a brand new company, like feeling that type of bitterness. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It just put a sour taste in my mouth. And all in all, just being a new driver and getting on YouTube and watching these type of videos and doing your research, you're going to come into every company, you know what I'm saying, kind of hesitant. You know, so when you finally do get in there and the bullshit does start happening, you know, it just puts like that little sour taste in your mouth, man, which ultimately like starts to get built up, you know. So bam, I'm broken down. I couldn't get a new truck. That was a con. Finally, after probably my 3rd week, or excuse the timeline, bro, probably at the end of the 1st month of being with Marten, they finally gave me a new truck. And this one was like brand new. Like, I think it only probably had like 80,000 miles. Digital dash Kenworth. It was new. It was nice. So yeah, I finally get into that thing. So that was definitely a pro, you know. But going back to what I was saying about Warner, me and a bunch of new people. I'm fresh from CR England, fresh out of truck driving school, probably working with CR England like 3-4 months. I get to Warner, and bro, they throw my whole classroom inside brand new trucks. The whole classroom. That shit felt like Oprah. You get a car. You get a car. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was cool, you know. So yeah, as far as Marten's cons, I would say between orientation, between my 1st week being there breaking down due to them putting me in this raggedy ass truck. Obviously they play some type of seniority level when it comes to trucks. That's the point I was making about Warner. It ain't got shit to do with seniority. It's like what's available. When me and my classroom landed at Warner, they had brand new trucks available. Just got them. With this company, I can see it's all type of better, newer trucks available, but yet they got me in this raggedy ass truck. You know, I think they based it on seniority level, because they said something to the effect of, after 6 months, we're gonna put you in a new truck. Yeah, so that was a con. That was probably it. As far as my cons go, because like I said in the beginning of the video, Marten was a good company, right? So let me talk about the pros. I like that the account I was on, it offered guaranteed pay, and I'm starting to respect guaranteed pay a lot more, you know. So sometimes when you're out here on this road and you're not getting them loads done, or you ain't got enough time to like get them type of loads in, or maybe it's even slow, there ain't no loads to get in, you don't get paid for that, you know. But with Marten, you got guaranteed pay. So as long as you out here on that road for these 5 days, you know what I'm saying, you guarantee your check is not going to be below this amount of money, you know. So that was always a plus. You know, you far away from home trying to get all this shit in and get your money to a certain point, but either the load's just not there, or the time, you know what I'm saying, a bunch of shit happens when you're out here on this road. So making guarantee on that account, that's definitely a plus. But it wasn't new to me. I came from guaranteed pay working with Warner. So yeah, that was always a big plus to me. Excuse me. Another plus, the breakdown pay, you know, that I did not get from Warner, or maybe I did, it just wasn't that much. You know what I'm saying? Being compensated for that downtime instead of being fucked up like, oh, there go my motherfucking check. They're gonna break you off something. $250, that's cool for the day. You know what I'm saying? Or as long as your shit in the shop. So even though it's broken down, every day that your truck is in the shop, they paying you $250. So that was a plus. The work was consistent. That's another pro. Like, there was not a time when I did not have a load, you know. The only thing with me was could I get to the load with this broke down truck, you know, in the beginning. So the guaranteed pay, the consistent work, the dispatch was cool, I guess, you know. I barely talk to them, and that's what I like, you know. I don't like to be in constant communication with nobody, and that's a big part about being a trucker. Like, you come from an office setting, you're gonna love trucking. Like, all that micromanaging shit is out. I never really experienced that outside of CR England when I was new, but every other company, like, I talk to these people when I feel like talking to these people, or when I need to talk to these people, you know. So Marten, there ain't no micromanaging, ain't nobody on your ass about nothing, you know, because they take drivers with experience. They expect you to know what to do. Anytime you reaching out should be for a hiccup. It shouldn't be just you know, you a brand new ass driver, you don't know shit, you know what I mean? So that's definitely a plus. They got a good facility, and I'm learning to appreciate that more too, based off of the company I'm at right now, which I might tell y'all later. I might or I might not tell y'all later. Because, oh shit. All right, anyway, yeah, we'll get back to that later. Yeah, the facility was cool. It actually looked brand new, you know. They got the truck wash on that thing, brand new driver center, showers, the whole nine, parking, clean lot. Like, I definitely like that. Guard gate, you know, they ain't just letting anybody in there, especially when you got expensive shit. You got expensive cars and stuff there. They got somebody guarding it. So me personally, I definitely appreciate that, the little things. So yeah, man, I feel like my pros outweighed the con, because, you know, I was just tripping off of orientation, not learning nothing, and getting there and immediately being broken down for shit pretty much my whole first month, you know. But let's talk about why I left. Let me get a sip of water for this. The reason I left. So let's just start with this too. When it comes to trucking, I'm starting to learn a lot of times there's gonna be something wrong with your check. Like, it's just inevitable, I guess, at this point. I don't know. I feel like, you know, me, it's like, as a trucker, you just want to be so simple. Like, I showed up, picked the load up, drove it across 70 states, you know what I'm saying, and dropped it off. Put my money in the account, you know. But sometimes it's not always that simple, you know. And I think it was on my very first check. Oh, this is another con. Let me not skip this part. So Marten offers guaranteed pay, but there are 5 things you must abide by in order to get that guaranteed pay, right? One being, when you go on home time and you come back, boy, you better be in that truck by 8 a.m. or you're automatically disqualified from getting guaranteed pay. It don't matter if you're there for 5 days, you know what I'm saying? On the clock for 5 days. If you're not back from home time at 8 a.m. or whatever time they give you, you're disqualified. If your paperwork is messed up, you're disqualified. And that one right there, I would never understand. Your paperwork, your home time. God damn, what was the other ones? Paperwork, home time. Damn, I should have done my research. I forgot the other ones, but we can talk about the ones that affected me, which was paperwork. So my first week there, you know, like I said, we could go back to the beginning of the video. They didn't teach you shit in orientation. All you learned was about sexual harassment. I might be a motherfucking sexual harassment expert at this point. I can teach some courses. Like, that's how much we watched on it. You know what I mean? So When I got into my truck and I was learning how to do all my loads and shit, I got on YouTube. You know, I referenced YouTube and I started learning how to do stuff, the paperwork. You know, so my first week I did my loads, whatever the case may be. I get my check and my shit is small. It's not even the guaranteed minimum. And I'm like, hey, what's going on? I thought we guaranteed minimum. Like, I've been on time. Oh yeah, you can't be late for a load. That was another one. I was on time. I didn't mess nothing up. Sent the paperwork in. What's going on? Well, there was something wrong with your paperwork. What was wrong with my paperwork? I'm not sure. Just say something was wrong with my paperwork. Okay, how the fuck y'all gonna blame me for something being wrong with the paperwork? Because for one, y'all never even taught me about the paperwork. You know what I'm saying? That's something I have to learn on my own. Writing down load numbers, the time, arrival, time of departure. You know what I'm saying? All the little small shit. I had to learn that on my own. You know? So for them to be talking about I didn't make my guaranteed minimum pay because of that, I thought that was kind of petty. Especially being a new driver. So I spoke my case and I'm like, I don't even understand why paperwork should even be a requirement to get the guaranteed pay, because why would you wait all the way until it's time for me to get paid to tell me about paperwork? We should have corrected the paperwork when I first sent it in and you seen it was fucked up. Why am I waiting to see my paycheck to see that I did the paperwork wrong? You know what I'm saying? When this could have been nipped way earlier. So, you know, just after pleading my case, they end up paying me. But unfortunately, when you get back pay, you don't get it that same day that your check was short. They're gonna send it off to the next check. You know, so cool, whatever, fine, paperwork. So now I'm really dialed in, making sure my paperwork is straight, all that. I still to this day don't know what was wrong with the paperwork. Feel like they kind of low-key probably tried to pull a fast one on me. I don't know. So fast forward, my checks was cool. Wasn't having no issues, and here comes the month of March. It was probably just hands down one of my worst months ever. So how I ended up quitting or leaving Marten, I forgot what day of the week this was, but I was having a bad week. So trucking wise, I was doing good. I got my check and my check was short again on this last week. So now I'm just irritated. Like, we starting a week off like this. I just got back from home time. You know what I'm saying? Got in the truck. I think I then ran to Oregon, Washington. Friday come, I get my check. It's short. It's not even at the minimum. What the fuck is going on, man? We already addressed everything. You know, so I'm just feeling drained. Like, hitting them up, what's going on. And this woman proceeds to tell me, you were late coming back from home time. You were supposed to come back a whole day before. So fuck being there at 8 a.m. I came back the next day. But this is the issue. When we were sorting out my home time, this is home time that I requested in advance. When we were sorting it out, she came to a conclusion like, that's not really gonna work if you leave on Friday and come back this day. Look, just come back Tuesday or whatever she said. You know what I'm saying? Tuesday or something like that. I came back Tuesday. What was not communicated to me was that was going to disqualify you from getting guaranteed pay. If she would have told me that, I would have said, fuck my home time. You know what I'm saying? Or I would have personally made it my mission to come back the day before. But once again, we like to wait at Marten until it's time to pay out the check to tell you that you fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Instead of telling you in advance. And that shit just irritated the fuck out of me. I'm on the road when I received this news, when I received my check and seen it. Like, come on, bro. So let's fast forward to a little bit later on in the day, or maybe the next day. Don't pay attention to the timeline too much. I'm not good with like time and shit like that. This might have been the next day. So I'm already irritated with Marten based off my check again for the second time, you know. And I get a call from my sister as I'm pulling through Utah, I believe, or I don't know. Utah, yeah, it was Utah. Pulling through Utah, and I get a call from my sister saying that our dad had died. And I just go into like, I just go into like a blank state, bro. Like, I can't make this shit up. I just like, I'm driving, she's telling me this, and I don't know how to process it. I don't even remember how I processed it. I just remember it's just going like blank. I'm driving, And as I'm driving, I drive past the port of entry. So she's talking to me, I'm just driving. I'm not even realizing I drove past that shit. You know, she's talking to me and I'm just driving, like, trying to process everything she's feeding me. And I get pulled over. I'm like, what the fuck? I don't even know why they pulling me over. So, of course, he come to my window. He said I blew past the port of entry, turned back around. This motherfucker made me drive like a mile back and gave me a $300 ticket. So now I'm just even more fucking irritated. Then, getting that news about my dad just threw me over a cliff. So I'm like, bro, fuck this job. I can't be here right now, you know. So I hit up my dispatch like, hey, I gotta go. You know, I didn't even tell them that I just got that news because I'm still fucking irritated with them about my check. So I didn't even tell them that. I'm like, route me back home. Route me back home. I don't even think they gave me a load back home. I believe I drove all the way back home for free. Like, I didn't even take no load. I wasn't in a mental space to be on the road, you know. I was not in the right state of mind to be on the road driving a semi-truck. So I got back as soon as I can. I turned my truck in. Like, it was a fucked up month, you know. Should I have left? No. I feel like you should at least give a company 3 chances, you know what I'm saying, before you do something like that. Like, they would have fucked my check up a 3rd time. We ain't got nothing else to talk about. Let me go ahead and move around. Y'all do y'all, I'm gonna go ahead and do me, you know. But I think the passing of my dad, you know, just threw fuel on that fire. You know, because I haven't even spoke to him in a long time. And the way he passed was just so gruesome, man. I had to step away. And I took like a month off, man. I spent time with family. Everybody flew in. And it was really a good time. It was something I really didn't even realize I needed at that time. But when I got it, you know, I felt wholesome again. Like, okay, I'm ready. You know, made peace with myself. And put the bullshit behind me, and I was ready to move forward. So I reached back out to Marten like, hey, I'm ready to come back, you know. I'm thinking I didn't do nothing bad on my part besides quit, you know, because I ain't never been late to a load. I was showed up when I was supposed to show up. They'll throw me some frisbee. They'll throw me some loads that wasn't even assigned to me, asking, can I go do that? I went and did that a few times, you know. I know my worth as a truck driver. I can really drive, you know, and that's been validated by drivers that's been driving for years. I'm not saying like I'm a specialist, like I can enter a motherfucking backing contest and win, you know what I'm saying? But I back that thing in there, you feel me? I do all the maneuvers, you know. I get the job done is all I'm saying. So I reached back out and I didn't hear nothing from them. I'm talking about I went and did a whole new application several different times, and I'm like, bro, what the fuck is going on? Nobody's talking to me. So finally I get a number off of Google. I'm trying to just reach past the basic recruiters, you know what I'm saying? And I get in touch with somebody and I kind of explain my situation, like, I'm not sure what's going on, but I'm trying to get back with the company. I just left them last month, but I needed to take a mental leave of absence, so I did that, you know. And she's like, well, yeah, they put you on the do not hire list. It says employee was not satisfied with the company or something like that. And I'm like, well, I'm trying to come back to the company, so that's not really an accurate depiction of what actually transpired, you know. Mind you, like I said, when I left, I never told them that the icing on the cake or the straw that broke the camel's back was my father passing. Like, all this shit, the fucked up check, the fucking $300 port of entry ticket, you know what I'm saying, getting a phone call about the passing, like, bro, all within the same day or a day's time frame, you know what I'm saying, all at once. It was just like, I gotta go. And most of the time, like, when you a new trucker and you come in into these companies and you doing your due diligence as far as research, you hear a lot of truckers talk about how they feel like they ain't nothing but a number. You know what I'm saying? So anytime I come to a company, I like carry that with me. Even the most experienced drivers be talking about you're nothing but a number. They don't really give a fuck about you or what you have going on. They got 60 new people in class every Monday coming to take your spot. So fuck you crying for? Move around, you know? So I take that with me with every company I go. So trust me when I say it never crossed my mind to tell them that my father just passed. I don't know how I would have handled it if I don't feel like it would have been received the right way. Like, oh, sorry to hear that. Hey, we got you a load out of motherfucking Florida. You know what I'm saying? Go get that load. Like, I don't know. It just never crossed my mind to tell them that. So when I reach out to this lady and she told me I'm on that do not hire list, I kind of break it down to her like, hey, I have to take this break, you know. A lot of shit just happened the wrong way at the wrong time, and I had to go, you know. But as far as who I am as a driver and my performance, that shouldn't be of any type of question. And she ended up calling me, and I'm actually speaking to a lawyer about this right now. So Marten, if you watching, yeah, you might be getting a phone call. She ended up calling me, and I'm explaining the situation to her. Like, that was a bad day. That was a bad month. All those things aligned just threw me through a loop, and I mentally I had to go. I was not safe on the road for myself or shit, probably anybody around me, you know. And the passing of my father just topped it off. And she was like, yeah, I understand. They put you on that list. Maybe you can send in the death certificate. Probably think about it. I'm not sure. Send in his death certificate? Yeah, like, do you have a death certificate? You said your father passed, right? I'm trying to come back to the company. I had to catch myself because the light that she was seeing me in was just mind-boggling at that time. Like, wait, you think I'm so desperate to come back to your company that you think I'm gonna lie about my dad being dead? Like, I had to process this and then catch myself, man. You know, because I've been gone a month, and I low-key started getting worried. You know, when you trucking and you get away from the truck too long, you start overthinking, like, oh, fuck, I hope I don't forget how to drive. You know what I'm saying? It had been like a month, so I'm trying to come back as fast as I can. You know, so I had to catch myself from getting disrespectful, and I'm like, all right, I'll send it to that email you was writing me on, you know. So I reached out to my little sister because she was the one responsible for my father, you know, and asked her to send a death certificate, and she sent it. So I put it in the email that me and the woman was contacting each other on prior to her calling me. She received it, and she kind of seemed like real short, like, yeah, I'm sorry, but at the time we're still not able to hire you. When I say, bro, you ever feel like you ever been on the phone? You ever feel like jumping through the phone? I wanted to jump through the email, like, bro, it was so offensive, and it just put me. It kind of really put me back into that mind state I just got out of. You know what I'm saying? Like, mentally feeling fucked up. Like, it kind of it took me back a few steps, you know. And I was really offended, highly offended, for me to go out of my way to do that. For one, you acting like it was gonna be something, it was gonna be a turning point, you know what I'm saying, to get me back in the company, and for me to send that, and you just like send me that little short ass response about, no, I'm sorry, we're still not hiring you. it was offensive. And like I said, right now I'm in talks with an attorney. I ain't gonna touch too much on that, but like I said, Marten, if you watching this, I'm definitely coming. So yeah, but I would like to say you can take that and form your own opinion. But overall, besides the check hiccups, I would recommend Marten to anyone looking for a company. You know, most of these companies are what you make it, but if they check off the basics, you know what I'm saying? Like, if they got continuous work, and if they keeping you running, and if the equipment is good, like, go. There ain't nothing else to talk about. You know, they had the basics, and like I said, had I been given the opportunity, I would have been right back with them. But I don't know. That's another story, man. I'll let y'all make up your mind about that. So overall, I recommend Marten. I would like to say, I was thinking, like, out of all the companies I've been to, and I'll just give y'all a basic rundown. So I guess I can't tell y'all the company I'm with now. But I started with CR England. I went to school there. Next, ended up at Warner. CR England wasn't paying nothing. Went to Warner. Warner was cool. I was on an account making a guaranteed pay, but I really wasn't making nothing past that. And I would have still been with Warner, but that account was so slow that they had to fire some drivers on that account and tried to force them OTR. I was one of those drivers, and I wasn't going OTR. So no longer with Warner. Then that's when I found my way to Marten. And as I just explained, that's what happened at Marten. Next, I went to CRST for a week. Go check out my short on CRST, and you kind of get a vague idea of why it only lasted a week. Basically, right after orientation, I quit. It just, yeah. And the company I'm with right now is Ashley's Furniture. And so far, everything's been good. I have zero complaints. But I was hesitant to tell you guys where I was at now, because I just got an offer from another company that I applied for last year. And this one is better pay and better home time. Like, this one, I'm home weekly and I'm making more money. So this ain't no knock on Ashley's Furniture, because y'all know me. If they did something, I'm talking shit. So far, everything's been smooth. I've been running. You know, they flew me out to Oregon, did my orientation. Flew me out from Oregon to Montana to go pick up my truck. They got me in this new Volvo. This motherfucker got a lot of space. I thought I like Kenworths and Internationals, but I guess I was just accustomed to it. But the Volvo, you know, when you pulling on them heavy ass trailers like this one, smooth selling. So far, I like Ashley, but this company that I've been trying to get with since last year, and you rarely hear bad things about this company, you know. They gave me that phone call, like, hey, the account is finally open. What you want to do? So, you know, hopefully, I already told Ashley, like, bro, it's kind of no way that I can't take this, you know. I ain't been with them long enough to be loyal to them. Like, I just got a phone call. You know, right now, it's about the money. When you coming into trucking, bro, follow the money. You don't got to sit where you at and accept what you getting. Don't listen to these old truck drivers. These motherfuckers was on the road making pennies, you know, disgruntled. Then they finally get promoted after a million miles and come inside the building, and they don't want to help change nothing. They want to make us feel okay with having to suffer for the first year. You know what I'm saying? You was just out on this road, but now you in the office, you're like abiding by how they move in the office. The same shit that you used to complain about when you was out here. Like, after 3 months, I know if somebody can drive a semi-truck. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't take 2 years. It does not take 2 years. After 3 months, really shorter than that. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know. Man, that's a whole nother story. I might hit y'all with a short. Also, there's no harm in you subscribing to my channel. Like, this ain't Instagram fake. You won't see me. You won't even notice I'm there. So please subscribe to my channel, like the video, and share the video. Help another driver. If you new, send this off. You know, you might be sitting in orientation. You might be at your hotel right now. You know, it's just a little game for y'all, and I got a lot more to come. So stay tuned.